It was smart. I bring a video
Okay,
switcher.
we're going.
Are we on? Okay. Well, good afternoon, or whatever time it is, wherever you happen to be. It's afternoon, it's 1:30 in the afternoon on March the 4th, 2023, and this is the Chicago CTIUG Group monthly show. My name is Hal Shanfield, I'm the fair chairman. Today, at this meeting, we have our technical expert, Jim Mazurek, and as always, our president, Vic Sturr. Vic has got a very interesting set of programs today that he's going to demo. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Vic, take it away.
Okay. I'll have to stop this program here. And we'll try loading the next one. We'll check editor assembler, and we'll do a D for directory on disk number 2. I'm using a Final Ground 99 for operating systems, and a Nano PEB is a virtual disk drive. The first thing off the bat here is fellow TIer Cliff Huxtable has sent me a request to help him finish 3 programs that he started over 10 years ago. So I typed one of them here, and of course I incremented it by 1 every time. It's called City Bomber. Now, we did demonstrate a program called City Bomber about 4 months ago that showed the usual profile of a city landscape with an aircraft. We did demonstrate a program called flying overhead, and of course you had a cannon. You tried to shoot down this bomber, and so anyway, here's his the first run of the program. Syntax error in 390. So let's do a list of the program, and I'll stop this. City Bomber 11/10/11, November 1st of 2011, or 11/01/11. And notice line 95, he does a call title. So there's got to be a sub-program at the end of this program that displays a title that says City Bomber. But I haven't typed in that much of this program. So it's all conventional. Call clear, call screen 8, call color, so he calls all his color sets. And then he has all his different strings for the different shapes of the buildings. So we're going to go to, and then he has some lines that I don't understand, like he has a remmed out line 320 print. I don't know what that was trying to do, and he's remmed out line 330, go to 330. Well, that probably stops the program right there. What we're interested is going down to 390. It says call H character 241972. Okay, I see there's an error. Oh. So we'll try re-editing line 390. I see I made a mistake transcribing this. And, okay. Call H character 241972. No closing parenthesis. There we go. So we'll try running that again. These programs, okay, syntax error in 400. Let's look at 400.
Get a mascot.
Okay, field 1 string plus character string 96, and character string 97, and character string 98. Okay, this might not seem okay, but you know what? This is a basic program, and we're trying to run it in extended basic. So it's calling character sets that are reserved in extended basic for the sprite table. So we can either do some trickery and merge a program I got stashed on disk 3, which is seldom used in TI world, called BXB, written by the late Jim Peterson. And what this does is it merges into your existing basic program, and it reassigns those sprite table back into character sets, specifically for this reason. So now we'll do a list. Boom. Okay, so you see the first line there, line 0, called BXB REM, subroutine copyright, 1987 by Jim Peterson, Tiger Cup. Okay, you cannot type in a line 0 on a TI. It won't let you start with 0. But Jim and other people have figured out how to do that and write a program that's at line 0. So then at the end of the program is a subroutine BXB. So let's scroll down here. So BXB is handy. You can stay in extended basic and not have to juggle back and forth. Okay, well, so here we are at line 21931, sub BXB, and call load, and there's a whole bunch of characters there that do not display an ASCII on the TI because he used the control key and knew what he was aiming for, what actual number he was looking for, and he typed in those characters. And so I've only ever just copied BXB from the source to what I was using here. And so there's a BXB, but now if we run it, it's not going to fail at the same point it did before, because now it's running the correct character set. Okay, incorrect argument list. Yeah, that's an artifact there because the program has redefined some of the words. So let's look at line 1110. Call color. I don't see a problem there, but if we list this program, Cliff wrote a lot of it, but he left some of it hanging, and some of it he didn't really know how to do. I'll get to that point in a moment here. Yeah, see, it calls sprites. So he did make a basic error there on calling character sets that are in the sprite table. So actually, we can't do both at the same time. If we run BXB, they're redefined back into character sets, but he wants to use sprites too. So that's one thing that would have to be redone. That hits, flip, pyramid lines, left and right. Okay, line, here, let's go up a line. Line 1030 there at the bottom of the screen has been remmed out by an exclamation point. Call via character 3:1?7. Well, basic or extended basic will not accept a question mark in this location because it's looking for an absolute numerical value to describe a V character, which is, well, I left my cheat sheet at home. It's what's the ASCII number of the character you want, what's the starting row, starting column, and how many repetitions. So I think they had starting row, starting column, and then the actual character. So he just used a question mark as a placeholder until he could figure out what character he wanted to actually put in that location. And he's done it a bunch of times. So let me get back here. James, if you want to hold this in front of your camera, I don't want to bump the display. You just have to show the first page.
Okay.
So I'm going to put this up on the Chicago CTIUG group Facebook page as the text file that Cliff sent me, and as this amount of the program that I have typed in by hand. And I'm only an amateur programmer, and I don't know how to really straighten this one out. Okay, the second thing he's done, let's go back to our title screen, James, can show this at least, is he wanted to know what a routine was for moving the chess piece called a knight around on a chessboard. Now, as you know, the knight can move like 2 forward and 1 to the side, or 1 forward and 2 to the side, either left or right. And he started out with a program called Knight Move, and I typed that in, and it pretty much shows the chessboard, and that's as far as he's gotten on that one. Again, this will be up on the Chicago User Group Facebook page. And the third one he had is called Moon Man. There we go. Thank you. Now I'll change discs. And this one is, again, the print date is 11/11/11. November 11th, 2011 was when that was started. And I think we actually have a disc on that. So let me load that disc. First I have to get my notes out here. And see where it's at on my Compact Flash Nano. Okay, that's on volume 158. So we're back into RXB. So we're removing the floppy disk from the virtual drive number 2. And we're putting in volume number 158 into that position. Whoop. We'll do a directory on drive 2, and there it is. So that says it's Moon Man. All right, so we'll just try running that in Extended Basic and see what happens.
By the way, Vic, we have 6 viewers right now, and we seem to be gaining more. There's nobody chatting, but six of us are watching.
All right. Oh, okay. So let's look at so this is in Extended Basic. It says this is by James Payton for use with TI-99 4E Extended Basic module, dedicated to Dick and Joanne Price. Thanks for lots of help, by Jacques. Here, I'm going to butcher this gentleman's French name, perhaps.
I'm not trained in French either, but James.
I know there's all sorts of silent.
Jacques Louis.
Okay.
Jacques Louis lived up in New Brunswick. Very nice fellow, member of the group, and passed away sadly a few years ago.
So here's the listing of the program. I'm passing the printout around the table now. Oh man, so it's, yeah, he gives credits. And main loop, I don't know how to play this. But let's run it again. Butterfingers. Yeah, so I've had fun the last month going through this and trying out these different programs and typing this in. So I'll grab the wired remote controller and, oh, can you walk like an Egyptian? Okay, so we can go off on one side of the screen. Alpha lockup. Oh. Oh, you can fly. I'm gonna go straight up and try to intercept that blue dot. No, it's running me in an angle there. And once you're up all the way, you have to go back down. Okay, I'm trying to go straight up, and it's drifting. All right. Okay, let's see now. Here's the last direction I moved, was to the left. So yeah, he's drifting to the left. I won't have any control left or right once I start jumping. Okay, he's a little bit to the left. Now he's going even further. Of course, we never read the instructions, even if we have them.
He's supposed to have superhuman strength, and he's not supposed to die, so how is he losing his lives here?
Well, I don't know what those T's down there mean.
Oh, there we go.
I know when I just ran into that thing. It was darn near ground level. There we go.
There we go.
Ah,
What exactly is that blue thing supposed to be?
your target, there was one just above ground level and I walked into it. And I got a point.
Ah,
And I says, okay, so obviously you're supposed to, no. All right. Well, it shows promise.
Yeah.
Boy, I bet you if we had instructions or if we looked through the program itself.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably figure out the gameplay by kind of looking at the program.
Well, he does document it. Call intro, call title, call character
Yeah.
set. Here we go, define characters on line 240. Display earth, set up sprites, event loop. Okay, yeah, so someone who understands this
Yeah.
could actually go through it. Animation, call color, call key, call pattern. End of main loop, ending routine, call clear, call bell sprite. If then display at, you won! Okay,
Carrie was asking on the live chat if you had to do something specific to grab the item when you pass, is it?
no, cause if I could let go of the, fire button, but if I press it again, then my character, oh, it talks to
Yeah, I
you.
can faintly hear the speech synthesizer module.
Oh, let me see if I can turn the sound up a bit. So was that 29? 2915. I worked with sound on the TI a little bit. And you know how when you turn the volume up, these are,
You want to play again.
and you get a yes, no. Okay. Yes, we're watching this on the Drive Viewer that I made about 10 years ago, specifically for meetings at the library, because I found out no matter how big of a monitor you have at the end of the table, the guy sitting by it has got to turn his head like 90 degrees to see it.
Yeah, if you.
And the
if you
guy
want
at the
to
far
listen
end
to
of the
people.
table needs a pair of binoculars to see the monitor. So I said, I'll pick one of those monitors like we saw in classic Star Trek, where
That's cool.
everybody's got their own. Okay, so I'm moving the joystick to the right, and he picked it up with his belly. Okay, now if I hit up, nothing happens. If I press the fire button, he goes up. Okay, so we picked up one.
Well, you're getting good at this.
Yeah, but I have no control. Once he hits it, he'll come down. You can move the joystick in various positions.
Got you.
I don't know where that laser beam came from.
It's one
Oh,
of the
some of it is a laser beam now, too. Uh-oh.
Oh,
A bad value in Alien, okay?
yes,
So I guess this program even needs a little work.
yes. Or it's a feature, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah,
Bad-
not a
Bad value,
bug.
bad value in Alien, you know, it kills you dead.
Yeah. And
So then again, this disk file will be posted up on the Chicago Youth Group Facebook page, and as well as the text files for these three programs. So if anybody wants to play and getting them set up.
And be sure and let us know if you finish the program and would like it demoed in its finished form.
Okay, so the next, let me put this one notebook away, grab the next one out. At fairs, a long time ago, I bought people's disc collections of floppies. And one of them I got that was quite the interesting was called modules. So we'll go into TI Basic here. Actually, let's just quit. Let me see what I have on drive 1. So period for editor assembler, D for directory, 1 for what floppy drive I want. Oh, okay, we're already on V modules number 70. So I renamed these modules, because they're mine, to Victor's modules, and they go from like 1 to 80. And these discs are again available on the thumb drive that's given away to attendees at the Chicago TI Users Group Annual International Fair. These thumb drives are not given out to anybody else. But anyway, here is the files actually on this particular one. Adventure, assembly, blackjack and poster, debug, edit, and starter. Well, you see there's a load program down here, and the reason I did this rather than just running load is there's 3 different load programs. I always wanted to rewrite this, so load would give you the option of loading one of the other 2 programs in addition to itself. But we'll quit this, press the any key, press 2 for RXB, or actually 3, no menu. And it goes right into Extended Basic, and it loads the load program. Well, here's our old friend, the music program, Sorgan. And it tells you everything on like 3 screens on how to play this, what sounds you get, octave up, octave down, volume select, the particular voice. We'll press the any key. And the lowercase keys play chords. And so this space bar toggle space on and off. So that's what, 3 pages of, 4 pages of instructions? It's a D, F, G, H, J, K, L, Z, X. So you need a little musicianship to be able to play this one. So we'll go back to the RXB, period editor assembler, D directory, device number 1, enter. Okay, so it does a listing of the programs. So load 1 loaded Sorgan, or load loaded Sorgan automatically. Let's see what load 1 does. Okay, load 1 loaded editor assembler from extended basic. So this is handy if you've got EA programs and you don't want to have to juggle your extended basic cartridge and EA back and forth. So quit and go back. Editor assembler, D for directory, drive 1. Oh, Sorg docs there, I see. So that's probably how to play that. Okay, so this is one of the 2 menu screens that I have on most of these modules disks. It says GPL interpreter simulation. Then you've got the adventure cartridge, which is the operating systems for text adventures on the TI. TI's Blackjack and Poker, TI's Football, Video Chess, and Yahtzee. Let's go with Blackjack and Poker. This is an EA5 module file on a disk. This is an artifact for RXB. Is this load program is not written correctly according to Rich Gilbertson. So you get this artifact. So, but we just press number 5 for the one we want. And there's the TI Blackjack and Poker. I learned something interesting about this program not that long ago. Is okay. Let's go with Blackjack. Number of players. You don't have to enter 1 to 4. You can press 0 and the machine plays with itself. Well, maybe maybe that's not quite the way to say it. You still have to press the bet button. We can quit that. And here we go. This is a clear version of it. Funny, it doesn't show Blackjack and Poker. Well, it was a running program, wasn't it? Okay, so we have Sorgan docs. All right, we can't read that. That's a DV80 file. We can't read that directly. But if I go to disk 3, drive number 3, no, I didn't want that either. Do a directory of drive 3. I have all my utility programs on here. This again, drive 3 isn't used very much in the TI world. And here's boot. Now boot is the full version of menu you get on a RAM disk. And boot, as you may or may not know, is a pretty powerful menuing program by itself. You always get the top 3, to show the directory, display a file, run a program. And the bottom is whatever cartridge you've got plugged in at the time. Now if you do a function 5, I can type in any program name and any program location, whether it's a disk 1, disk ABC, Winchester WDS1. Probably put a TIPI address in there too. But we're getting off track. So what we'll do is do a directory here of disk 1. Okay. And holding down the function key in X, we'll scroll down to Sorgan Docs. I can press V for view and then enter. And there's the documentation for Sorgan. And so you can actually print this out, page 1, oh no. And as you can see, this is a little scrambled. So if you go back at boot, at the home screen, if you've got an 80 column device like an F18, you can press W for wide. And now we can display the file, Sorgan Docs. And this is what it'll look like when you print out. Now the font is a lot smaller on a TI, and it's more difficult to read, but at least on a flat panel monitor with an F18, it's completely legible. Okay. So we'll go back into TI Basic. We'll remove that disk from drive 1. We'll unmount it. Okay, on my Nano PEB, I've got all my utilities are in the first 10 volumes. So like disk number 1 of VMods only starts at volume 11 and goes up from there. We'll say goodbye. We'll do a disk 1 load. Okay, here's another menu that's typical of the GPL interpreter simulation. You can run extended basic, basic, or EA5 programs with this loader. So here we've got budget management. B is the TI demonstration program. C is the TI disk manager, editor, assembler. Easy bug if you're into assembly language programming. Home finance, physical fitness, and personal real estate. So just to show not everything's games around here, we'll do the physical fitness cartridge. Okay, so everybody got your leotards and your scrunch socks on. 1978, wow.
I was physically fit in 1970.
Yeah, that's when we were all physically fit. It's important that you read the manual before starting this exercise program. Can we have a dramatic reading?
It's important that you read the manual before starting this exercise program in order to understand individual exercise limits and guidelines.
Press enter if you have read the manual. Well, we haven't, but
Yeah, we're gonna face it.
exercise evaluation, that was what?
We also get the cross compare, right? What was considered to be good, healthy, physical fitness regimen in the late 1970s versus what
Yeah.
is thought as a good, healthy regimen
Yeah.
today.
A complete physical is necessary if you are, one, over 35, two, or have present or past history of heart disease, or three, have had other complications. This exam should include a graded exercise stress test with a monitored EKG. If a particular exercise produces excessive strain, either omit or reduce the repetitions until it is comfortable. If you have stopped exercising for several weeks, you should go back a level for a few days. To interrupt your exercises, press the space bar. To resume, press it again. If you wait longer than 2 minutes, we will back up one exercise. Ready to begin? Let's go. Exercise evaluation will evaluate your chosen level by computing your training target pulse rate, leading you through your own chosen level of exercise, comparing your pulse rate after exercise with your target value. Press your age, well. Okay, now we're gonna find out your resting heart rate. After you press enter, you will hear a tone. Start counting your pulses. At the second tone, stop counting. So, okay. All right, everybody can find your pulse? Okay,
Mine is 50.
stand by,
I assume mine is present.
start counting. Enter pulse count, then press enter. Okay. Your pulse rate's 138 beats per minute if you hit 23 pulses in 20 seconds. No, we're good with that.
That's awfully high.
Your target I'm doing that on purpose. Okay, your target training value is 128, but it's already 133. So we're set, we're good. We've reached it.
You're obviously physically fit
Yeah,
at
you got your
99.
physical fitness by lifting the tri-viewer.
Yeah.
Okay. The following chart shows guideline limits for pulse rates. It's important to consult your doctor. So we had, we're 99, so we're over 60, and it was 128. Okay. So let's look at the ladies'
I was
exercises.
gonna say, we got anything for kids,
Yeah.
2-year-olds?
Okay, the wing stretcher. Touch hands, pull hands apart. Position 1, position 2. 1, 2. 1. Apart, together. Apart, together. Apart, together.
Oh, no.
Touch toe.
No, no.
Okay, I hit the space bar.
I can
I
touch
guess
myself
it's
when I'm
going
sitting
to
down,
automatically start.
if I cross my legs.
Okay, the knee lift. Raise and hold briefly. Left.
Press the space bar.
There's either a stripe painted on the legs on these exercise tags, or that's the bone. The body bender. The sprinter. Head and shoulder curl. Yeah, that's usually what I do in the morning. Trying to get out of bed or look at the alarm clock. The flutter kick. Face down, chest raised, kick slightly.
I did that in
sideways leg raiser, the knee push-up. See if this level's okay. Let's find your pulse. You will hear a tone. Well, we did this already.
You can't find your pulse after that.
Yeah, the next step is lie down and decompose.
Well, we could cheat and get one of those pulse oximeters that clip on your finger. It tells you your heart rate and your.
Or we could cheat, just not do these.
Yes, of course, everyone is doing these exercises in the room right now.
Yes.
Really, we are.
Oh yes, we're all working real hard at.
I'm moving my head up and down, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Okay, we got 11 pulses in the 22nd time, so it's 66 beats per minute. Let's press enter. Since your pulse is below the target value, you may go to the next level.
All right.
Run in place, skip rope. Oh, we can run half a mile in this room in 10 minutes.
Oh, shit, yes.
Be sure you walk after you've run until your pulse is down to 100 beats per minute. See if you're running or skipping fast enough, let's measure your pulse. Okay.
I'm sure.
All right, so that's the exercise cartridge by Texas Instruments. What do we have? We've gone through home finance and I think personal real estate. We'll load the next disc in.
All that exercise, I'm sweating inside my mask. Yeah, that runs drooling beautifully. Doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I use the personal real estate and personal finance, home finances for my wife and I bought our house to see if we could afford it and to see what the payments are. And as usual, going with the 30-year printout on it.
Do we need an update for like the tiny home edition?
Yeah. We saw it was like 22 years before we reached the break-even halfway point between putting in as much money on what we owed versus putting in money on interest payments. So yeah, you start out your first payment, it's 99% interest you're paying off, and 1% your actual payoff. And your last payment's 99% the actual payoff and 1% on the interest, because they've gotten that already. So here's some educational cartridges. Now you notice this one's fancier. This is a 2-page menu. So you've got your animated edutainment programs that TI was so well known for. Addition, multiplication, basic equations, grammar, subtraction, music maker. We all love playing with music maker. And percents. Now Control X for the next page, Control and X. Oh, for video graphs. I forget what that one was. It's not the arcade game, is it? Might have to turn the sound down on this a bit. Because otherwise the people in the next room are going to say it sounds like a computer in here. Now I had worked with the TI, I was hoping to do it soon, maybe next month even, is using guitar stomp pedal boxes with the TI where you can add reverberation, or in the case with the TI when you turn the sound up very high, you get to hear that high frequency whine of the machine actually running. And so there's another stomp box I got that is a threshold, where sound has to be above a certain threshold for the box to pass it through to the amplifier. And so that works real nice because you can adjust it to it. Just cuts out on that background whine.
You can see that there was some TI programmers that down and look at put too much time in their hands.
Honestly, science fiction TV show in the late 70s.
That's probably what it was inspired from.
Okay, so those demonstrations take a little time.
In 1978, they would have really knocked your socks off, though. You know, I mean, that would have been exciting. I was excited about it in 1978.
So let's, yeah, we want the, French, German, Italian, Spanish, Netherlands. Let's try that one again. Actually, what I might have to do so I'll take my nano or my final gram out, go straight extended basic. Go 5 so I can see what was on that menu. Ah, well 8 didn't show up on that menu. So again, we get the DLM. That's not Industrial Light and Magic, is it? That's 8, function 7, skill level 1 to 9, range, joystick control, exit game control. Let's start that out at 1. Okay, so your answer's in the middle, you got a 0. I don't see an answer here. If 5 times 7 equals, no.
You're gonna die.
Well, that's sort of bogus.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, I think there's a minor problem here.
yeah.
Houston, we have a problem.
Well, not all these cartridges work.
You've substituted your randomness with the value of 0.
Yeah,
How to frustrate kids.
that's cool.
I like going with RXB because you can catalog a disc. So there's your EA5 programs. And I see something interesting here is a song. So I bet you if we load Music Maker, Okay, 3, we're gonna load music. Disc 1. Let's see what somebody else did already.
It's not hard for you to see a CS1 option.
Okay, we use 3.25%. Proceed, which is function 6. Go play it. Just go with the defaults. Well, that was pretty quick.
Back on the other game, Carrie makes a comment, maybe you have to type in the answer with the keyboard and then shoot to pick the meteor you're answering.
Aha! Okay. Okay, so here's the music. So I believe on this, use the joystick to on Music Maker. Yeah, you have to use wired remote controller 2. Let's try playing voice number 1. Okay. The Music Maker works. Well, we'll go back and try that. That was meteor multiplication. Oh, that's what's throwing that out. Yeah, RxB uses 3 options, so it's confusing it. Well, we'll have to go with Dutch.
We got a
Or
comment
German.
from Matthew Turk saying that he thought the rendering of the clefs and notes on the Music Maker application were
Yeah, that's it.
nice.
You gotta press the, this isn't giving me much chance here.
Yeah, maybe you have to target and then select and then, in other words,
Yeah, I did that.
target the equation you want to
0
solve.
times 4 is 0. Okay, now I can't seem to rotate my, now I can't seem to rotate my fortress in the middle.
Interesting.
Yeah, here, I put in the right number. Press space bar.
Now it still keeps
Yeah,
coming
now
back
now
in.
you're stuck.
Yeah, that's done. Well, not all of these modules work.
Perfectly.
So let's try loading in another disk. Let's get into caps. It'll be volume 13 because I have to add 10 to whatever. Let's do a directory. Okay, so a long time ago when I got these modules, I printed out the catalog and using QualitySoft 99's, here James, if you could show this. QualitySoft 99's screen dump program, I was actually able to print out with the menu screen looked at. So if you look at the bottom of that page, that shows me what you see is what you get, the actual menu screen. And here's what I got. Okay. There you go. See the bottom of the page. For my shorthand on that printout sheet, I use blue for EA5 programs. Just a way of keeping it, because it only says it's a program. on a disk manager, it doesn't tell you what it is. So we have Boxer, Bandit, Typo Man, which is a typing program, Arcturus, Argroids, Henhouse, Munchman, Centipede, Jawbreaker, Mouse and Cat, Ghost Speller, Rabbit Trail, Theon Raiders, Treasure Island, and Killer Caterpillar. So here's like a fourth type of menu screen you get. And maybe I should explain this. We'll do a directory again. So here's your standard format, 4-letter abbreviation for EA5 program. And here's Arcturus, ARCT, ARCU, ARCV, where it uses 5 files, and each one increases the last letter of the program name by a 1, which is pretty much standard procedure on doing this. Oops. It's not what I was trying to do. Ah, here we are. So now if we go down, here's your extended basic load program. The extended basic always looks for every time it does something. But here's a DF80 loader program that's the editor assembler adapter. So if we quit, go into come on. Oh. So we'll look at load and list it. So it goes, complementary disk, press the key. All right, so about the middle of the screen, line 130, the end of that, it says called load disk 1 loader. Then it sets up the loader after it's loaded, after disk 1 loader is loaded, then it sets up call load 9491 BK if, and then call link G loader. And then here's your data statements for what actual program you're going to run. So just about all these disks have a load and a loader on them. So anything in particular you'd like to see?
Oh, let's see Treasure Island.
Okay, that'd be letter N.
It's the same one I'm thinking of. But,
Yeah, there's a few that are.
Do you know what Theon Raiders is about?
Pardon?
Theon, am I pronouncing that right?
Oh, Theon. Okay, this one you're the explorer in the white hat, and you're on a slowly sinking island, and you can only move on certain paths.
Maybe you could.
I can't seem to get a north on my little guy.
It's not the one I was thinking of. Are you trying to get into the little
Oh.
spaces? Or? Is that what you want to do?
A hardware project I would like to make for the TI, there was a Micropendium magazine a long time ago. It was called Slow Down Your TI, where you put in a 555 chip
Yeah,
in your,
jab a pulsing signal into the interrupt line.
and the one that they showed had not only had like a little volume control, you could control the speed,
Yeah.
and it had a switch you could flip or a button, brake and unbrake button. It to actually stop the machine at certain points. And I
Hmm.
thought, boy, that'd be handy for these kind of demonstrations for, games that play too fast
Yes,
for people with no
yeah,
reflexes.
maybe we're too slow, but,
Yeah, that car race game, I tried that about 100 times. I made it around the track one time, only to find out that there was a way that you could slow the thing down and actually see the motion before it blew up. And so I put that module away about 25 years ago, and
Yeah.
didn't play it again until a couple of
I
years
had
back.
a devil of a time playing that game until I found out you're supposed to play it with the wired remote controllers, and if you press the fire button, it speeds your car up faster than the crash car. So
Yeah,
you
that
can
was
upset their
very-
crash car's timing by juggling your speed up and down. Of course, the thing always tries to have a head-on with you.
Yeah.
You had asked for Theon Raiders?
Yeah, let's see what that's about.
Sure. Well, this is the whole idea of this, is to show, you may have not seen Theon Raiders at your local theater. Okay, so it looks like we got a view straight ahead, and that might be a radar on the left. And it looks like somebody took a pot shot at us. I don't know if I hit my controllers here failed or what.
Well, it's a TI demo.
right, or, you're assuming it looks like an action game, so it must have a joystick,
Yeah.
but might still be keyboard driven.
Well, give it a try. Alpha lock up.
Is that thing up in the upper left-hand corner, is that your aiming device? or-
Yeah, it sure looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rolling the controllers around in a circle here. And like I said, these are supplied as is, and your mileage may vary.
Yes, there may be some
Now,
mystery to how to control the
Yeah,
game.
there's-
second page I have is my personal notes where I've tried playing these games, and some of them just don't work. So rather than getting frustrated every time I load this disk, I've taken notes and go like, okay, this one doesn't work, but sometimes I'll remember, oh, back on disk 27, there's a Theon Raiders that does work. So I sort of cross-reference these as to,
Vic, I'm pretty sure you're never, ever gonna get Alzheimer's because you've got the ability to remember so many things and correlate them,
mhm.
whereas right now, I can't even remember what the last program we just demonstrated.
Theon Raiders.
Sounds familiar. Who are you again?
Where am I?
It looks familiar, but, where am
Let me see which one I'm on. Okay, I'm calling this now.
I think we need to,
Well, I was gonna do a directory first, because like that first disk I showed you, sometimes there's hidden load programs that don't show up. So Frogger, Snagit, The Steak After the Eggs, Fireball, Guardian, Punchman, Star Wars, that should be TI Roids, not TE Roids. Space Fort, Burger Time, Congo Bongo, TI Invaders, Miner 2049 Ski. That was a nice frustrating game. We'll get into that in a minute. Chisholm Trail, that classic, Princess and the Frog. But let's go to Asteroids. which is, I believe, a misspelling of the STIUG. And joysticks work fine. And that's about how I usually do on an asteroids type game. But yeah, this is the asteroids game for the TI. In assembly, runs fast, in color. You got no complaints with this one. Star Wars is the trench game. You're flying in the trench on the Death Star, and stuff comes for you. Space Fort, I think that looks an awful lot like the multiplication game we just did. Oh, this is nice. Did it for a scout troop. Oh, no, this is a Space Invaders type. You're stationary, and you get to move your where your cannon's aimed. So it's a Fast and Furious shoot 'em up. I was thinking of maybe it's Star Fort, where you sit in the middle of the screen and you sit and spin. And show
Like Garage.
yeah. But Miner 2049er, that was the first so-called sidecar game I got, which is a cartridge that was designed to plug into the right side of the TI.
That's interesting.
And
did it have like extra memory or something?
It had the 32K memory in it
Oh,
that this game needs to run. But they never said that. So the P-Gram was popular at the time, which was an inexpensive version of the Miller's Graphics. What was their Gram emulator that Craig Miller made?
oh, I couldn't tell you that.
Anyway, I can't remember that off head. But I went like, oh gee, you know,
Or something.
I could copy this to my P-Gram, but it's a sidecar, so I can't do it. So yeah, this is a good one. The thing is, Bounty Bob is after a bad guy who is in this uranium mine in Canada. So to catch him, he has to walk over every horizontal floor and change the color, and as a reward, he goes to the next level. And so all these blinking things are radioactive mutants that'll get you. Here's an interesting one. You've got the sliding platform that takes you back and forth. You got elevators, you got tokens you have to pick up. I think it's a vat of acid or toxic waste. When you get close to these purple diagonals, those are ramps. You'll slide down them. So what you actually have to do is jump across the top of that diagonal to the far end of it, and then to clear that square, and then when you walk back, you'll hit the other one. This one, the cannon. You have to pick up all those kegs of gunpowder and load the cannon. And see where I said if I had the pause button, I could just stop it and show you stuff.
Yeah.
You have to load the cannon with a certain number of amounts of kegs of gunpowder and shoot yourself up to the next platform. And then when you clear it, you drop down to the surface again and put in more kegs of powder to go to a higher platform. This game is very demanding on its edge sensing, on how close you get to the edge of a platform, or especially one that has one of those diagonal ramps before you'll slide down. And it's very difficult to play. But this is one of those, like on this one, you've got these ramps for different areas, and the little radioactive monsters that try to get you. those are elevators there. You can walk into those rectangles in the middle and go up to another floor. And this one's ladders, and pretty much you drop down and got to develop a pattern left, right, you know, which square you're going to clear off. It plays the minor on my darling. Yeah, some areas you can only get to on that horizontally oscillating platform. So now you got elevators and sliding platforms. Well, those things try to stop you.
And why do you wanna play this game?
Yeah, it's called fun.
Oh.
There's the cannon. You gotta go left, pick up your powder, load the cannon, and then, you know, pop you up to the upper levels. Okay, I'm gonna put this one.
In a couple minutes, I'll go and see if we have extra time today.
Okay, Princess and the Frog, this should be familiar to everybody.
Edit key.
And as usual, okay, not every program works. Some of them you can't even clear them properly.
You know, that might be an interesting show to do sometime. Collect all of the programs that don't work and run through them quickly, showing why they don't work, and then maybe stimulating some interest in having people
Yeah.
fix them.
Well, if I knew why they didn't work,
Yeah, you could have a contest.
Yeah,
We could
it's
all-
like, here's my dogs, see who can fix them.
Yeah, that's, you know, all these people are constantly writing stuff on Atari Age, these little programs. Well,
Yeah.
spread these things
Yeah,
out and say, look,
instead of a, you know,
yeah,
4K competition, you can have a fix the broken code
yeah,
competition.
yeah.
okay,
No,
so
that's too much
we'll
hard
do,
work.
Restore them, yeah.
this number 5 here.
You better give him back this, so he puts it in the right place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so this was a big deal for me when I was doing this. What was this, 3, huh?
My big deal was printing out all the Christmas banners, about 20 of them, wasting an enormous amount of ink, paper, time.
Okay, well, I see here there's a load and there's a load 1. So let's just try running the standard load. Okay, some new ones here. Clowns, Voyager, Breakout is always a fun game. Moon Mine, Scrabble, Slimoids, Crossfire, Henpecked, Roto Raider, Demon Attack, Microsurgeon, Spies Demise, and Pole Position. I can swear one of these I found was Demon Attack and not Super Demon Attack. There were 2 different versions of that. I asked somebody, why do they always have a Fun Game 2? You know, I said, where's the original Fun Game? And I was told, well, a lot of times that's on another system. They release Fun Game, and then when they go release it on another computer, they got to give it a different name so you know which one they're talking about. But yeah, so Demon Attack, Microsurgeon, which has been one of my favorites for a long time, and Pole Position. Now, Microsurgeon, you have a microscopic craft that goes into the patient's body. And that little white square there with the white dot in the middle is your craft. And you have a laser beam, you have aspirin, and you have antibiotics. So for things you see there like green stuff and black stuff tar and the white stuff cholesterol, you can zap with your laser beam. Antibiotics are for the little green squiggly bugs, which are bacteria. And so every once in a while the nurse goes, virus, virus. Well, there is no cure for a virus, but you can use aspirin to try to lower the fever down, which are your number 1, 2, and 3 keys at the left top of the screen. Now you can use the keyboard or the joysticks. One thing about using the joysticks, if you can somehow lash them both together, your left joystick can move your little robot craft, and your right joystick can fire your laser, aspirin, or antibiotic in any point of the compass. Otherwise, if you just use the one joystick, it will only fire in the direction that you're moving. And so here's the nurse down there in the lower right part of the screen. The upper right part of the screen tells you what part of the body you're in. Easter egg, since Mr. Levine wrote this program, he threw in his own Easter egg where the PA system goes, paging Dr. Levine, and he got to give himself a pat on the back for that. You can pick, here, let's go into the main menu. Press any key to begin. Okay, press 8 for help. Okay, 1 for ultrasonics, 2 for which is your, I said laser beam, no, it's ultrasonics, antibiotics and aspirin, 6 for a slow robot, or 7 for a fast speed. Yeah, if you ever saw the movie, what was that Michael Crichton movie?
Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah, yeah. They shrunk down a team of doctors in their submarine and injected them into a patient, and they tried to clear the blood clot that they got in his brain from a bad injury. It was fairly good.
I'll check, see if we have any extra time.
Press enter for more. Now, in the lower left corner, it shows the status of the organs, and this guy's in poor shape. Now, why do I got a phone call? Excuse me a minute. Yes, Kim?
Hi, Victor. Bill,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a small air compressor that's friends with flat tire? Car, and a 7 square tire, and the tire repair kit for the car.
Okay.
Replace your tire, drive it over to the sell a tire.
Yeah, there's one in the trunk of the RAV4 in the driveway if Jean's still at home.
So let me drive over to.
It plugs in the cigarette lighter. I got that specifically so when we went on vacations, we wouldn't be a victim if we woke up in the morning and have a low tire.
Right, what, do you know if you
No, I don't.
I'm gonna drive over to find out.
Okay, but that one runs off the car. You don't have to plug it in the wall.
All
Okay.
right. Be over in 2 minutes.
All right, I'm in Evanston right now.
Okay.
All right, bye. Friend with a flat tire. Okay, so back to microsurgeon here. There are 999 patients in this hospital, and they all have different levels of intensity of problems. So it's like, okay, moving robot, okay, so you got the left side of the keyboard for moving them, and medicating them on the right, or for convenience, if you have the joysticks, joystick 1 and joystick 2, but you need a fixture to lash them together. Press enter for more. Here's your diseases: tar in the lungs, gallstone, kidney stone, cholesterol, tapeworms, tumor infection, and a cold virus. All right, so here you go, 1,000 patients to pick from, and I always go with patient 1, and that guy ain't long for the world. So let's go with like patient 101. I guess this is the amount of difficulty it is, but we're gonna start this on level 0. And okay, so we're in the lungs, and you move faster in the bloodstream. There we go. Your aim has to be fairly good. And you move your, oh yeah, and on the right there is a zoom in of the area you're in. Yeah, you can fire diagonally. You don't want to shoot these big white things. Those are white blood cells. You get a penalty for that. Uh-oh, gotta go down the intestines. Now that looks like the liver there. I'm losing this guy. He's dead, Jim. His bones always sit on, oh, we lost the intestines. Oh, well. I have to take my mask off and throw it on the floor and stomp on it. So that's an example of microsurgeon. Al, what's the story?
We got until 3:30,
Okay, so what time is it now?
2:53.
Oh, okay, we got about half an hour. So, which one haven't we seen before? Clowns? Anybody here have clownophobia? Hey, that's a valid question. Those things are scary. Plus, you got Stephen King's It, and then you got the killer clowns from outer space, which are like the ugliest clowns I've ever seen in my life.
Did you ever go to the circus and watch all these little cars and drive up and 15 people climb out of it, 15 clowns?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Okay, so
In college,
let's
you
look
didn't-
at R for the rules. Oh, it's a balloon breaker. Use the keyboard SD or to move the springboard and catch a flying ball.
Well, I think you're about ready to have a problem. Break out with clowns. Oops.
Ouch. Ouch. Oh yeah, remember a few years ago we had bouncing babies? We had Frank and Gage from Emergency with the paramedics, and they had the well, this will keep you busy for a while. Maybe you haven't seen that one before. Clowns. Try to cover a little more ground a little faster here. Voyager. Voyager. Voyager? Yeah, they had the net. You had to try to catch the babies that are being tossed out the window of the orphanage that's on fire. And so you have, okay, so this is like a reversed, this is like an aircraft flying. You have to move the joystick in the opposite direction. Yeah, it's difficult for me to operate this one because you have to move the stick in the opposite direction. You want, because you're actually flying a craft.
Is that white thing the ship, or is that just your aiming mark?
I think that's an aiming mark, your reticle. Yeah, you can pick it up, but it's sort of backwards for me. That's probably the selling point. Okay. Get another disc in.
So what were we on?
Oh, there was a load 1 on that. So I don't know what the other programs would be. Okay, angler, topper, TI toad, I'm lost. I'm lost. That's not I'm hiding is the MBX game. Intercept, TI runner, entrapment, racquetball, Berlin wall. We've done Berlin wall a few times before. Defend the city. Kippy's nightmare and king of the castle. So angler, I believe, is angler dangler. And it's the fishing game. Yeah. So it starts out, you're at the bottom of the screen here. To the left is how far your lure will get tossed out when you press the fire button. So that's like your strength meter. You can move it left and right. Your fire button draws the line in. How the load on your line is that red scale on the right. You overdo it, and the fish will break the line. Oh, we got a fish on the first try. Now he can move along the shore and sort of move that line left and right. Ah. So you don't want to try to drag the fish over a lily pad, because then you'll lose them.
The same damn fish. Must be really dumb fish.
Yeah. That's about jumping the shark. So I can move the.
Sounds like it's saying, here, fishy, 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 here, fishy, fishy. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
Okay. Yeah, so if you're stuck in the house and can't get out fishing, okay, I'll just deliberately drag this guy too hard. Okay, he got tangled in the weeds. So you can either break the line or tangle him in the weeds. Also, we have Topper, TI Toad, just like Frogger. I'm lost, aggressor, D station, intercept. I'm lost. So this has been 5 discs out of a collection of 60 or 70 of them that I've accumulated over the years, called Modules on Disc. And this might be one that doesn't work. Okay, it's not loading it. You try turning it off and back on again. Aggressor.
Carrie Shug would like you to turn the camera over and show your equipment at the end of the meeting, he said. Says you have some modern hardware adapter that emulates many floppy disks on a USB memory stick or something. Could you turn the camera on your hardware setup at the end of the meeting? You might want to explain what the device is that you're using.
PEB.
Sure. So I described at the beginning of the,
Yeah,
try a second.
when we end for the day, we can pick up the camera and kind of pan around with it, walk around with it, and talk about your rig. You know, show your rig and talk about it.
That's a pretty fast shoot 'em up. It responds quickly and accurately. It's just that the person running this program is not quick or accurate. So that was aggressor. I think it's sometimes called space aggressor. Let's look at D station, which sounds awful familiar. Oh, you want to go for the easy level or the hard level? Yeah, easy.
Easy, always easy.
Oh, okay, so this is the one where you got the, your stationary. I don't know if you can see the cannon there at the middle of the screen. You can probably only allow so many enemies to touch the ground. Huh. Okay. So, what we got? So I'm just trying to show, yeah, everybody's seen, well, how about TI Runner? Which is based on the, what is it, Broderbund's Load Runner that was on the PC. And this game is beautiful. It runs quickly, it's accurate, and it has a level editor. You can make your own levels. Now it starts out with, I think, 28. I think the program data file is called level 28 or runner 28, and but you can edit that. Okay, so you got bricks. As you press the fire button and you run across the bricks, you can dig a hole behind you to impede your opponents, or you can run completely through them. That area he just went over is unbreakable bricks. So you can make it difficult for them to follow you, and as the hole closes up, I think it destroys your opponent. Now there's a puzzler. You got to pick up both of those tokens, but it's buried in something. So here's a good one. Oh, I ran into the guy coming down the ladder.
Oops.
couldn't change direction fast enough.
This is how my kids destroyed all my joysticks.
Ah, that's what you do if you want to drop down a level into one of those concealed areas. Yeah, this is very close to, what's the one with the ghosts in the construction site? On entrapment is a fun one. The object of this game is to stop all the worms that are descending, and it looks like it's corrupted. So let's load another disk. Oh, Midnight Mason.
That's it, yeah.
Has a very similar gameplay. I thought one of these, I went back one. No, it wasn't this one, okay. I thought I could quickly go back one. Here's got to load one. So let's try load one first. Hang on. Got to be caps. I had a stutter of a phone call from Alma Shanafield there.
What's that?
It stuttered. It rang once and stopped.
Oh.
Okay, so here's load one. Let me look at my notes here. Oh yeah, it shows two different menu screens here. Qubit. Qubit Pizza, Pac-Man, Caverns, Defender, Pluto 2, Worm Attack, and Donkey Kong. And then under Load, it's a different menu. Mash, Qubit, Pizza, Pac-Man, Caverns, Dragons, The Hop, Defender, Guardian, Wing Wars, Black Hole, Breakthrough, Pluto 2, Worm Attack, Donkey Kong, and Beyond Parsec. Some of those sound like a,
I'm out here.
Oh, okay, you're out in the parking lot?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be out in a little bit. 2 minutes.
yeah, Beyond Parsec had an interesting history. It was written as Beyond Parsec, and Texas Instruments complained about their using the word parsec. So they had to rename it. What was it called? Beyond,
I can't remember what they call that.
okay, so this one, you've got, you're blue. So what you have to do is get behind an asteroid and use your machine They can get hit by the asteroids you pushed. So the idea is you can.
stop the asteroids by
Yeah.
shooting them, and eventually you can get them all lined up, and then, or get them all moving really fast.
So if one's coming towards you, you can actually slow it down and stop you.
Yeah.
So this is a two-player only game.
Hey,
Is that the video game? or is
That was
that-
my silly phone. Every time there's an incoming message, it goes, hey. Okay. Oops, shut down my. If you go too low, you can crash into the structures at the bottom. Yeah, I think was it John Phillips? He showed up at that one meeting. He explained all the different TI games that he had worked on. He says, no, he didn't write them all from scratch, but TI assigned him a lot of games to finish up the writing.
Yeah, that's too bad we can't give them those three that you demoed earlier and maybe finish them.
So the laser doesn't destroy the asteroids?
No, it pushes them. But if you run into an asteroid,
It just slows them down?
Yeah, you can actually stop them if you keep shooting. If they run over you though, then you're SOL. And they come in from behind you. If you shoot them and get them moving too fast, they come in from the other direction, running over you. Yeah, you can send it back the other way. That'll come up and bite you in the front of the fanny.
yes, you can navigate the entire you can navigate the entire screen, point in either directions, and your laser, I think, will shoot your opponent, but the idea is to push the asteroids towards them, and okay. Let's let somebody else have some fun.
I think we may need to start breaking down a little bit to be out of here by 3:30.
Hmm? Well, let me get our closing,
A quick bit of housekeeping before we sign off about the fair. We were contacted by the Evanston Public Library, where we meet and where we also hold the fair. And come to find out, this is the 150th year of the library. And so they have co-opted our usual meeting spot, even though we signed up for it and paid for it months ago, 5 months ago. So they've moved us. We are no longer going to be on the ground floor as people come in the door. We're now up on the 3rd floor in what's called the Falcon Room. And I will continue to announce that right up until October the 14th this year, when the Chicago TI International World Fair will take place up on the 3rd floor in the Falcon Room. And it is a room which is not as large as the large community meeting room, but I think it will be sufficient for our needs. It does have tables, chairs, a screen, And it is a suitable location, I guess, for us. Next year perhaps we'll be back downstairs, but this year, owing to the fact that the library owns the community meeting room, and they wanted to switch this to a different date, but we've already switched the date once. So we're keeping the date of October the 14th because of the October schedule of the Northwestern football team, which we always have to plan around. And anyway, we have this new meeting room up on the 3rd floor. The other matter that we were discussing was on the April 1st meeting. I don't know what decision we've come to. Did you want to do it remote? Or?
Well, we can talk about that.
Okay, we talk about that off camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Vic, do you wanna grab the camera and show your rig before
Yeah,
you pack up?
do that. Okay. So, the display we're using here is a 3-screen display. I need one of those Steadicam mounts. Based on the Star Trek TriViewer. And as you can see, it sits in the middle of the table, and everybody's got a screen. Because I found when we had one monitor at the end of the table, the guy next to it would have to turn his head 90 degrees to see it. And the guy at the end of the table would need a pair of binoculars to see the
We
screen.
might also mention that Ken Griffin is here as well. We didn't mention his name at the beginning of the show because he can't.
Wave hi.
So Ken, why don't you just wave your hand so everybody knows who you are.
And then,
Okay.
the other thing we wanted to see was your
Okay.
nano PEC and
So-
any of the other kind of enhancements to
So-
the console.
The equipment we're using is a much modified TI console that you can do that has a F18 video adapter, which is back in production, and they're taking orders for them, and they're selling out fast. And folks, if you want them, this is your last chance to get one. They're not going to make any more. So then I have the Finalgram 99, which uses an SD card for storage of .bin files for cartridges. And I have I found this real nice cheat sheet of all the different versions of the TI strip. And then for disk management, I'm using a Nano PEB, which plugs into the right side of the speech module, has its own power source, and uses a compact flash card. And each compact flash card holds about 2,000 floppy disks worth of data. And with our various libraries, I've got more than one compact flash card here. Since we're working on modules, that's the VMods cartridge that's in there. It also has 32K memory built in because a lot of the cartridge files in bin format need 32K to operate. So yeah, the Nano, I had a compact flash first, which is the same cartridge, but it has a parallel port instead of the serial port. And I had that for 10 years, and I swapped it out for this, which is called the Nano. So that's the equipment we're using. I don't have to haul a P-box, although this monitor more than makes up for it, because it weighs as much as 3 monitors. So we have lots of fun with that. And then we're running it's a running program there.
Vic, you mentioned the final drum. How much do those run, and where would someone get one if they wanted one?
Gregory McGill at Arcade Shopper online can get you anything for the TI.
Do you happen to know what the price is these days?
No, I don't.
Okay, well then they best go to his site and check that out.
Yes. Huh.
Okay,
Okay, I'm looking for an end of meeting movie here, but I don't have it. Okay, so we'll just close. So, well, Hal, if you give the closing announcements.
well, that's about it then, I guess.
Send out
For us
notices.
from here for this month, and we will be back next month at a time to be determined, probably around the same time as today, and the location and the way to be determined as well, whether we meet here or whether we're gonna be doing a remote broadcast from Vic's place or wherever. But until then, I guess that's about all from us. Vic has done an excellent presentation. This is Jim over here with the glasses on his head. Ken is in the green shirt. I'm the guy in the red hat. And that's about it. Until next month, it's been good to have all you come and watch the show. Please join us again next time. So, signing off from here.